The tunes you are listening to are not just melodies or sounds. They herald the beginning of a festival of the tribal Newar community, resonating the ancient culture and traditions of Nepal. This colorful month-long festival of high religious and cultural importance to the Newar community of Kathmandu Valley is called the Gunla Parva or the Gunla Festival. Scholars have interpreted Gu as 9, La as month, citing that since it occurs on the ninth month of Nepal Sambat calendar, it's called Gunla. But this is not a correct translation or interpretation. The festival is celebrated from the first day after the full moon around mid-July till the next in mid-August, which happens to be the 10th month of the Nepal Sambat calendar, and it is called Gunla Festival. In fact, it is through the summarization of the word Guna, which means merit, that this festival has found its name as Gula, a month full of merits. There are no historical records that mention the antiquity of this festival or how this festival was celebrated in ancient times. The Buddhists of Kathmandu believe that the instrument played throughout the festival is Gautam Buddha's favorite instrument. They claim that the Sakyas of Kapilvastu brought it with them from the southern plains when they settled in the Kathmandu Valley. But there are no sources to prove this either. Interestingly, there is no mention of any other Buddhist culture celebrating Gunla festival elsewhere too. In this sense, Gunla is arguably an original concept and culture from the ancient Nepali Buddhist tradition. Gunla is a Buddhist practice, so even within the Newar community, it doesn't matter which castes are influential in the festival. Anyone can participate in it, but those who have a Buddhist faith are much more attracted to it. The Newar society is composed of both Buddhist and Hindus. Therefore, during the Gunla festival, both the Buddhist and Hindu activities take place in abundance. However, the Buddhists give a special importance to the festival and celebrate it for an entire month as Gunla Parva or Gunla Dharma. Because of this, Gunla has become synonymous with Buddhist culture. On the first day after full moon called Shravan Shukla Pratipada, at start of the Gunla festival, from early morning one can see lively sights of children, teenagers, youths and elders taking out processions in groups from various nooks and corners of Kathmandu playing traditional music instruments walking towards the Swayambhu Mahachaitya. Throughout the festival period, there is a tradition among the devotees of the Kathmandu valley to gather in the local courtyards before dawn break with music instruments, walk through the inner alleys and circumambulate the Swayambhu Mahachaitya. Each neighborhood has its own musical guthi or collective. Every morning, someone from the guthi beats the nakhi drum loud enough to wake the residents to gather and start the procession. The groups proceed from respective neighborhoods called tolls through inner routes passing numerous Buddhist sites. At Swayambhu Mahachaitya, they recite various hymns called tuta in the vernacular Nepal bhasha and offer puja as they circumambulate the chaitya playing traditional rhythm and tunes. They return home in a similar manner, worshipping Buddhist sites along the way. It can be understood that all Buddhist religious activities, including Bahidya Vegu of Kathmandu, Matya of Patan, Bahachahiligu of Kritipur, Panjra of Kathmandu, Thagu and Parve on the last day of the festival, are all categorized as part of the Gunla festival. One of the attractions of the festival is Gunla Baza or Gunla musical instruments played during this occasion. Gunla Baza is not a single instrument but a collective name of different types. Gunla Baza is the combined name of Tha, Pusha, Susha, Ta, Nakhi, Baya, Basuri, Neku, which is played by blowing the horn, and Mwali, among others. However, the Tha played with a hand on one side and a stick on the other is considered to be the main instrument. It almost looks like a tholak. However, there have been some changes in these musical instruments over time. The enthusiasm among the new generation is encouraging. Children, teenagers, young adults, and elders also participate in the musical groups. There can be no greater example of generational transfer of culture in the Newar community than what is taking place during Gunla. Gula is a religious and cultural festival as well as being musical and entertaining. People get into a warm surround of religious and spiritual thoughts from early morning for an entire month. It is no wonder they experience feelings of friendship and compassion arising in their hearts and minds. Since they walk together playing music as a collective, there is a belief that it creates peace of mind and mutual harmony and promotes family happiness, peace, prosperity, and virtue. In this way, Gula festival can be understood as an act of spreading the merits of one's own and others' religion in harmony. Since the festival takes place during monsoon, when natural disasters occur and diseases spread, participants also pray for freedom for such fear. They also take a month-long vow to control their food and other habits. Then there are those who promise themselves to strictly follow the Buddha's teaching throughout the course of the festival, even if it is at least once a year. In this manner, Gula festival is taken as an opportunity to make a commitment to give up the bad habits and vow to follow the good. Therefore, this festival serves as an opportunity to reflect on the merits you can bring to the self and others while accumulating virtues of the Dharma to do good in this life and in the next life. On the other hand, the practice of Buddhism and philosophy is fundamentally related to the contemplation of death. That's why, for a whole month, devotees visit and circumambulate the Buddhist monasteries and chaityas and perform puja, praying for internal peace and rest to the souls of departed relatives, friends, acquaintances, and strangers who would have passed away that year. Buddhists also consider this 1 month of circumambulation as a sadhana. Interestingly, some Buddhists or musical groups from different localities do not always come to Swambhu Mahachaitya during the Gula festival, and it's not a practical thing either. Instead, the devotees of Patan go to Bungamati in the south, devotees of Bhaktapur to Nala in the east, devotees of Banepa to Namobuddha southeast, devotees of Sakhu go to Gumba or Vajrayogini in the northeast. Even in Kritipur in the southwest and other small settlements, during this period, devotees keep circumambulating Buddhist monasteries and stupas. However, they all continue to follow the tradition of going to Swimbu at least once during the month-long festival. The Newar Buddhists, who are permanently residing in the districts outside of the Kathmandu Valley, have also been celebrating this festival depending on their ability to organize. Also, the Gunla festival is very famous in the Newar Buddhist community of Kathmandu Valley. There is no presumption that this festival should be celebrated in the same way elsewhere. The cultural life of Buddhists is not the same all over the world. For instance, the full moon of mid-April, called Baisak Purnima, to mark the birth, enlightenment and death of Gautam Buddha, considered to be the three important events in his life, is celebrated around the world in different patterns. People in India, Sri Lanka and Nepal celebrate it for only one day, while in other places, they start celebrating it 1 month ahead. Likewise, the Thai society observes this event for 1 whole month starting from the Baisak Purnima day itself. In the Tibetan tradition, it is celebrated as the Saga Dawa with equal worship and reverence in a completely different time of the year for an entire month. The Newars of Kathmandu Valley have a cultural tradition to celebrate this day as Swayapuni in the name of the Buddha, while the Newar Buddhists further celebrate it as Panjra, Sammik Parva, Dipankha Yatra as such. These traditions are not found anywhere else, except in the Newar Buddhist Society of Kathmandu Valley. Now, the question is, have you observed this Gunla festival that has preserved its unique identity in the world Buddhist culture and is an original intangible heritage of Nepal?